And Lord of the Rings doesn't count yet, because I don't own it yet. I do now have quite a lot of chunky books on my TBR. Oh gosh, just piling them up is making it hard to breathe. Oh my gosh. Hi, I'm Milena. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another TBR board, which honestly, these are my favorite videos to film. If you're new to TBR board, the playlist and all the rules of TBR board are down below. But essentially, it's a game I use to decide my monthly TBRs. I always do 6 rolls and I try to incorporate my book club reads every month. So this month, the book club reads are of course for the Bronte Long that I host with Mary and Sarah. Again, all the information is down below, but we are going to read all the Bronte novels in 2022. And in April, we will read Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. I also host a book on Instagram called the Dutch Classics Book Club, and we decided to also read historical fiction this year. And in April we're going to read The Prophet by Robert Jones Jr. So I hope I can fit these two in. Usually it kind of works, but we'll see how we'll go this time around. So without further ado, let's do the first roll. Okay, so last time we ended on the Virginia Woolf tile, so let's go and do the very first roll. A 3. 1, 2, 3, which is a big card. A book under 200 pages. The first roll was a TBR card and that was under 200 pages. So for that one I decided to pick Open Water by Caleb Amusa Nelson. This is a contemporary literary fiction about two people who meet in London and who fall in love. They both go to art school, but they have a hard time being able to turn their art into their profession. They're struggling and they're coming together in love. And this book is, let's see, how many pages is this? 145, so it fits the prompt exactly. I was looking for books, I noticed that I have a lot of books just over 200 pages, so this was one of the few that actually was under 200 pages. Back to the second roll. It's a 2, 1, 2, which is a modern classic. The second roll was a genre roll, which is a very easy roll always. That was a modern classic. I had so many options for this one, but I decided to go with one that has been staring at me for quite some time and that I feel like I'm never going to mood read. So let's put it on the TBR. And that is There Once Lived a Mother Who Loved Her Children Until They Moved Back In. 3 novellas about family by Ludmila Pretushenska. This is written in Russian, translated by Anna Summers in 2014. So these are 3 novellas that are supposedly quite absurd, with a very daily life kind of theme. So it's about a mother, that it says on the title, whose children move back in. I think it is about a young nurse fears murder at the hands of her brutal husband. A devoted mother commits a terrible crime against her own son in order to save him. So I feel like these are very strange stories, but since they are novellas, I think I can deal with the strangeness. I really want to read more translated work, so I'm happy to put this one on the TBR. Third row. Another 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, big card. Pick from other person's shelf. Roll number 3 was another TBR card, and that was Pick from Other Person's Shelf. Mary from Mary Among Stories very kindly agreed to pick a book for me, so I'm going to give her a call. I told her that I will read anything that she picks for me as long as I own it, which I feel like is a very safe way of having your friends push books on you. If I own it, I know I want to read it. Let's give Mary a call. Okay, so I'm really curious what you're going to pick. Like, as long as I own it, you can make me read anything. And Lord of the Rings doesn't count yet, because I don't own it yet.
Yeah, I was not gonna pick The Lord of the Rings. I mean, I kind of wanted to, but since we are planning to buddy read it and everything, I think we can save it for a different time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I would love for you to read some fantasy. You can see that I am in a strategic corner.
I can see it, yes.
Fantasy corner.
Yes.
So I was wondering if you have started reading the 5th season yet.
I have not.
Okay then.
That's my pick? Okay, that's actually very exciting. Yes, I like that. Have you read it yourself?
I have read it and I have loved it. And a fun fact is I think you will enjoy it more than The Lord of the Rings. I cannot exactly tell you why, because it's kind of spoilery, but it has a lot of themes that you usually enjoy. And I just think You will love it. You might be a little overwhelmed at first because you are just thrown into the world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, without much explanation, but it is so good. I love that book, and I genuinely think you will like it too. So.
Okay, so but I can like send you voice notes with questions if I don't understand, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Feel free to do so.
Yes. Mary picking a fancy for me was no surprise at all. I did think maybe she would want me to read a classic that she really loves, but I feel like we have most of our very beloved classics in common. So I'm going to read the 5th season, and this is one of the few fantasy novels that I own. Mary did know that I had an interest in reading this, but I am intimidated by it, especially because Mary said that you're thrown into the world very fast, but every person I've seen reading this absolutely loved it. I feel like maybe the 2nd and 3rd one aren't as beloved. I like most about this book when I bought it was that the main character is an adult woman, and even though I can really enjoy YA, I love adult stories better. So I thought it was quite a unique take in fantasy, because a lot of fantasy is YA, I think. I'm really happy and pleased that Mary picked this for me. Because I've been reading so many classics in March that this will balance it out so well. It says on the blurb, "This is the way the world ends for the last time. It starts with the Great Red Rift, across the heart of the world's sole continent, spewing ash that blots out of the sun. It starts with death, with a murdered son and a missing daughter." That is what gripped me. The murdered son and a missing daughter. I thought that having a mother as a main character is such an original take. This is stillness, a land long familiar with catastrophe, where the power of the earth is wielded as a weapon, and where there is no mercy. This sounds so dark, but also amazing. Oh, I'm actually really excited to read this, so thank you so much, Mary. Okay, roll number 4. Is it 3? 1, 2, 3, which is a historical fiction. That is a seasonal read. So the throw was a combo throw, so a genre roll and a TBR card. So we had historical fiction that also has a TBR card seasonal read. For this, I had to scour all of my historical fictions. None of them screamed spring to me, they all screamed fall. I feel like fall is like the ultimate vibe. But I found a book that mentions that it's spring on the first page, and that is The Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. This is a chunker of a book. I mean, I of course tried to get the book club read in there, but it says that it was incredibly cold on the first page, so I don't feel like I can make that work. So this one does say on the very first page that we are in spring, so I'm going to count this one. This book was sold to me because it said that in this world suffragettes are witches, and I was like, yes, suffragettes and witches, all I need to know. This has gotten some mixed reviews, a lot of 3 stars. I am expecting a lot of fun from this because I think making the suffragettes have magical powers sounds amazing. I mean, in my opinion, they kind of did in Willpower. Them having actually magical powers and being witches sounds amazing. I hope this one is better than The Lost Apothecary, which I feel has kind of the same vibe, and I really did not like that one. This is about the Eastwood sisters, who is called James, Agnes and Beatrice, and they joined the suffragettes in New Salem, so it's set in America. They begin to pursue the forgotten words and the ways that might turn the women's movement into the witches' movement. It says that in the past in this world, being a witch was something that was really done, but in current times of this book, so in 1893, witchcraft has become just a fable and they need to reimagine witchcraft and make it awake again. Ooh, I love how many non-classics we have this time around, because I'm a little burned out on classics and I definitely do want to be very excited for Wuthering Heights. So at this point in the TBR game, I'm getting a bit nervous because we have no book club read yet on the TBR. So let's do the next row. Roll number 5 is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is yellow is non-fiction. Oh my gosh, okay. I am nervous. A non-fiction with an AZ author name. We got another combo throw, which was a non-fiction. So again, no book club read with AZ author name. Which I feel like this is going to be another difficult one. So let's get a random number generator and find a letter. Alright, I feel the fear. A J. Okay, we got a J, and part of me thought, let's do the Bronte biography by Julia Barker. But that biography is 1,000 pages and I definitely do not want that. on a monthly TBR. I just want to read that like on the side. So I was looking at my bookshelves. I don't own a lot of non-fiction, so I was really lucky. I also have this with a J. John Mullen, What Matters in Jane Austen. This again is a book that has had so many beautiful reviews. I know that Katie from Books and Things and Charlotte from Toni Reads love it. Both of them love it, and I really trust both of them when it comes to history. In different chapters, the author dissects all the parts that matter in Jane Austen, that matter in her novels and in her world. I'm really looking forward to this. I don't know how easy the writing is, whether it's very easygoing or if it's more academic, I don't know. Also, don't really care, even though I'm hoping for an easy read. I just find this so fascinating because I love Jane Austen. I find her books amazing. So I would love to get a more in-depth view of her novels. Okay, for the last row, please be for a Bronte book. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. 1. A pick a card. Oh my gosh. Romance elements. Oh my gosh, yes, that works for the Bronte book. For the last row we got a TBR card that has romance elements. Now I can use those for both the book club reads. I can use them for Running Heights and for the Prophets. For the sake of it, I'm just going to pick Wuthering Heights for it. Wuthering Heights is a novel that I've read before and that I really loved. I think when it comes to romance and Wuthering Heights, it's definitely a difficult topic because all the romances are incredibly toxic. I think in Wuthering Heights they're not romances that are romantic, if you know what I mean, but still romance and the individual feelings of love and romance are very important to the story and to the plot. Really looking forward to read this again with my lovely Bronte Longhouse and everyone in the Discord. Discord is in the description down below, and we do a live show every month, and we've been doing a lot of reading sprints as well, so it's just a really fun ride. And if you want to read Wuthering Heights with us, then go join. So that means I have 7 books on my TBR, including The Prophets. This is about 2 men who fall in love on a plantation in America. We follow Samuel and Isaiah. It says on the back, in the barn they tended to the animals but also to each other, transforming the hallowed out shed into a place of human refuge. But when an older man, a fellow slave, seeks to gain favor by preaching the master's gospel on the plantation, the slaves begin to turn on their own. This sounds like an amazing story, and I love that we have a queer relationship in the center of it. I have heard so many good things about it. I think this has been a bit of a booktube favorite as well. I know that everyone in the book club is really looking forward to it. I do now have quite a lot of chunky books on my TBR, so I feel slightly intimidated. I'm definitely going to search for some audiobooks to help me through this month. I feel like all of these books are going to be a bit different than I usually read, so I think it will be quite refreshing. Oh gosh, just piling them up is making it hard to breathe. Oh my gosh, this is my April TBR. Oh my gosh, how many pages will this even be? I mean, like, I'm so happy I picked these 2 in the beginning because the rest is so intimidating. The only other thin novel is a Victorian classic. Even though I am beyond intimidation at this point for especially like the non-fiction and the 3 historical fiction and fantasy, I am all really excited for these books. I really am looking forward to them all because I bought a lot of books that are slightly, not necessarily out of my comfort zone, but not what I usually buy or what I usually really prioritize to read. And I think it will be so much fun if you've read any of this, because this file is full of booktube favorites. Please let me know. Please give me some predictions as to what you think I will like, or tell me which ones you absolutely loved. This one, by the way, was a gift from Elisa, so thank you so much, Elisa, for gifting this one to me. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to subscribe, and I hope that you have a lovely day or evening, and I hope to see you in another video. Doei!